Donald Trump's favorite daughter, Ivanka Trump, just took a massive loss in court, and it is devastating to her, as well as many people in the former Trump administration and current Republicans in the House and Senate. And it has everything to do with their phone records, because a new legal ruling confirmed that the January 6th committee and maybe other bodies in Congress have the ability to seize phone records from the final days of the Trump presidency. And this includes not only Trump, but people within Congress and the Trump administration. And that includes Ivanka. Remember, Trump was so nepotistic, he always directly mashed together his political campaign, his White House administration, and his corporation. But Ivanka was probably the most mixed in, because she did stuff for the campaign and the corporation, and she got a job in the White House after Trump became president. And what this shows is that their records, any communication between Trump and the administration, between Trump and Congress, and between Congress and the administration, can be seized to find proof of collusion about what they knew and didn't know on that day. What did Trump order and not order on that day? When did Trump know how bad it was getting and chose to do nothing? They will have full access to all of those records. And Ivanka has to be one of the crucial targets. I want to read you some reporting here. It says, CNN's reporting is that the committee is starting with reputable actors, the telecommunications companies, social media companies, and they're not going to play those games. Congress has just reestablished its right to enforce subpoenas in the Trump litigation in the Supreme Court, in the McGahn litigation, and that we worked on in the first impeachment in the DC Circuit. He added that while Trump officials excelled at avoiding congressional subpoenas while they could hide behind executive privilege, those excuses will not fly now that Trump is out of office. And so what that's saying is that Ivanka and the rest of the ghouls, the rest of the ghoul gallery in and around Donald Trump could hide behind President Trump. They can't hide behind ex-President Trump. And now we will get a sense for what Ivanka knew, for what Jared, her husband, knew, for what Donald Trump knew, for what these right-wing congressmen that were backing Trump like Mo Brooks, what Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell knew. But for Ivanka, this is the worst, because it puts her in an absolutely no-win position. Remember, Ivanka is trying to hide away right now. Part of her social and political and legal strategy, unlike her dum-dum brothers, is to literally do nothing. To hide away, no media, no TV appearances, barely use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, maybe to post pictures now and then, but no comments on any issues, hoping that she will fly under the radar. And being dragged in front of Congress to have a hostile committee is absolutely against that plan. But it gets worse, because her narrative has been, I was the one telling my daddy to calm down. She and Jared have leaked that into all the books and reporting on Trump. They haven't said it directly, but it's very clearly from them and their PR teams that they were one of the only reasons Trump wasn't even worse. And so if she goes to committee, she has a choice, and either one is bad. She either has to protect herself, admitting that her daddy was a monster and she was the only one keeping him on something of a leash, which puts her into direct conflict with her family and her daddy's entire movement, or admit that she wasn't actually a calming influence and that she was just every bit as part of the evil as her dad and a lot of the people around them. And so this is a crucial moment. It is a gut check time for all of these Republicans, but for Ivanka more than anyone. She tried to stay out of the limelight and not directly take a side, but this is going to force her to admit that either daddy was a monster, she was a monster, or both.